Hello everyone, welcome to the JCast Network. I'm your host, Aaron Herman. Apps are transforming the way we learn. And with Jewish education and introducing iPads into classrooms, we're now seeing a renaissance in Jewish education. Recently, Artscroll announced that they are digitizing, with the help of RustyBrick, all their volumes. Let's take a closer look. Okay. So, Jewish apps are the latest rage, and you've been in the business for a number of years. Tell us a little bit about how you got started.
Sure. Basically, when I first got the iPhone, they didn't support third-party apps, and I really thought, based on Apple's iPhone apps that they had when they came out with it for the first generation, we could build something that's unique and helpful for the Jewish community. And as soon as Apple announced the second generation iPhone, we jumped on that because they were doing it for developers. And sorry about that. And when we opened it up for developers, it was interesting because we were able to do things on the iPhone platform and iOS that you weren't able to do prior. We were able to build out, applications that are specific to the Jewish community that are not just, books or, flat books or static books, but it actually told you, it knew the day, knew your location, was able to actually tell you what you need to say that day based on where you are and what's going on that day. So we felt we could build a better Jewish companion using the iPhone technology.
And, you built a number of apps, and they've been very successful. What are some of the things that you think have been, the difficulties in bringing it to market, and some of the opportunities?
So Ronnie could talk more on the technical side in terms of difficulties. It's in terms of the Jewish culture. It's a lot of people, especially the more, Orthodox or more firm you are, the less they want to adopt new technology, especially internet technologies, because it's just a device that could lead to certain things that are not appropriate. So that's one of the challenges. The other thing is, it's awkward seeing somebody, not these days, but when we first started, it was awkward to see somebody davening from their phone. It's why are they texting, why are they emailing, using their phone through shul? And now it's you see somebody in shul with their phone in front of their face during Shemona Esrei, it's not a big deal. It's something that you see a lot. So that's changed over time. Ronnie, do you want to talk a little bit on the technology side?
Yeah, we started off really early, and Apple has been working with us through every single iOS version, and the versions really had some challenges with Hebrew. So the first version of Siddur actually had a reverse, the Hebrew and things like that, and then we had issues with the correctness of the various vowel signs or nikudim, things like that. So we had to, evolve over time with the technology. A lot of things were not available until literally we just got into the final changes that were on our major to-do list, and that was full screen mode and the gestures and all that. And things like this were not even capable, 4 years ago. So we finally got all that stuff in, and people are just so happy. It's one of the best things about our audience is that they're very vocal. They make sure to let us know when we do things that are bad, and they make sure to let us know when we do things that are good. And it shows up in the app review. I mean, if you look at any of the Jewish apps in the App Store, you'll see our Siddur app actually has 5-star ratings. And the reviews, a few of them are very in-depth, and people are very happy. So we listen to everybody.
And one of the great things about your apps is that you definitely have diverse types of apps, and I think that's critical when you're trying to figure out your segment. And what drives you? I mean, when you're creating an app, and you're trying to figure out like what's the next big thing. How do you find? Obviously, it costs money to develop. I think a lot of people don't understand. Like you don't just put some code in and it just appears. It takes a lot of thought and takes a lot of money to develop these type of things. How do you choose your projects to develop?
Well, that's pretty much based off of what initially at least, it was based off of what we felt would be useful for ourselves. We build things that we find useful. And if it's not useful, we typically won't want to build it. And now we've built pretty much almost everything that we found to be useful. Like we have the Siddur, we have, the Tikkun, we have all these different types of Jewish apps, like Shabbat Shalom tells you what time Shabbos is. We have apps that find the closest kosher restaurant, which was great when I was in San Jose this week and they opened a brand new kosher restaurant, so I was able to get there in no time. And so those type of things are very useful. Now it's like little things that come up, like, on this day it would have been useful to have this type of feature, or that day it would be useful to have those types of features. Plus, because the community is so large now, everybody's getting iPhones and iOS devices, they're sending us tons and tons of feedback and saying, it'd be great if we had this, it would be great if we had that. And based on the number of requests we get, that's how we prioritize stuff. Not just about features, obviously, it's about building out brand new apps. So, as an example, like during the nuclear reactor issue in Japan, like about a year ago, maybe less, we live in Muncie, which is not so far from the Indian Point power plant, which is obviously a nuclear power plant right here. And we're like, why don't we build an app that you open up and tells you how far away you are from a nuclear power plant, and if you're in the red zone, and what to do in case there is a leakage of some sort. So that was like something we could throw out in a couple days, and we did it, and so did 100 other people do it. But it was something that we found to be useful at the time, so we built it. That's pretty much how we come about it. Ronnie, I don't know if you have anything to add.
Other things, for instance, the Tikkun app was a gamble. It's one of those apps that were very, it's a very, very niche market. It's for bar mitzvah kids and also for professionals or readers. But it was a big investment. It was a lot of intense, capabilities, and we had to find a publisher that had a matching, text in a high quality format that was adaptable to us. And it just worked out. Everything worked out in that respect, and it's a very successful app right now. So we're very happy with that. The next app probably would be that we try to test different markets would be our Olive Bed app. And that we designed and did all the work, the stuff in-house. You mentioned budgets and stuff like that. It costs us a lot of money to actually output apps, especially kids apps. And we were just testing to see how well the Jewish children's app market would be. And that's why we did the Olive Bed app. And that's not doing so well, but Barry's showing it on his screen. The things didn't fall into place as well as we wanted it to. So we try to get to team up with some people, and other people were not interested to work out with regards to partnerships. So we had to do everything in-house. And the number one complaint really is that we don't have an Israeli accent. So we're gonna work on getting an Israeli accent on the app.
Everyone complains. There's not. It's not. You try to create something innovative, and it's not. You don't have the Israeli accent.
So we're gonna make an option. Just like that's how we answer these kind of things. We'll put in both American and Israeli accents, and then make it an option for what you guys want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
That'll make everybody happy.
Right.
Yeah, expanding on what Ronnie's saying, especially in our Siddur app, it's like there's so many different customs, so many different, so many different types of customs and opinions and halachas and stuff like that. And so things like, even do you say Hallel on Yom HaAtzmaut or something like that, we had to make a setting for it. And is it on or off by default? So we turn it off by default, and people yell at us, why is it off by default? Why is it on by default? There's lots, you can't make every single Jewish person happy, so we try to, the beauty of the Siddur lets you say, all right, let's customize the Siddur just for me, and just for my preferences, and we're able to do that with literally, probably have close to 50 settings there, for all different types of things from, different halachas of what you say on a certain day versus what zmanim you hold by, pretty much everything you can imagine, like, which way is Mizrahi, there's like 3 different types of calculations, so it's pretty cool.
And do you have a sense of how many downloads you've had, let's say, for all your Jewish apps?
It's a good question. I would definitely say hundreds and hundreds of thousands, maybe millions.
Yeah, we have over 3 million sales alone in our own catalog of apps that we've produced. But that includes some non-Jewish apps as well.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to get more.
Right. And what's your most? Do you know your most successful app?
It's by far the Siddur
Yeah.
in regards to paid apps. With regards to free apps, I think what is it? Hebrew Translator is doing pretty well. Barry?
The free app in Jewish World, I think, is either the Shabbat Shalom app or the Hebrew Translator app are probably the most downloaded free apps in the market in Jewish World. In terms of the paid Jewish World, it's definitely our Siddur app, which is definitely one of the most downloaded paid apps we have.
Mm-hmm. And you recently got into a partnership with Artscroll, and this is exciting. This is the next level of education. Tell us a little bit about this venture.
So we've been talking to them on and off for the past at least 2 or 3 years now. And they've decided recently that they want to go ahead and take the leap and go into the digital space. The beauty of it is, they have some of the best quality content out there. The way they lay it out has changed, how people learn, Gemara and everything, pretty much all Torah. And what we could do with their content to make it more accessible, to make it more interactive, to make it more, useful and helpful for students and even Daf Yomi people, it's just going to be amazing by having side by side stuff, overlays, contextual data that could actually make it more interactive and more useful. What they've done is an unbelievable thing in terms of the print. What we could do with them in terms of interactive technology on the iPad and iPhone, and even Android, hopefully in the future, it's going to really change things. So we're really excited for that.
As technology evolves, so does education. With Jewish apps, we'll be able to further our understanding of Jewish values, rituals, and history. This is Aaron Herman, and thanks for watching.